Yo, what's going on? This Volcano Beats, the Sampler King, live from the lab again. Bring you this week's 3. So before we get into that, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Help me out. Let's go. All right, my first topic is the Roland Gaia 2. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never known how to pronounce it. I always knew it was a dope little synthesizer, and it seemed like they took it to the next level, man. The version 2, it's a little bit pricier than the last one. The last one was like, I think brand new, they were like $5.99. Well, obviously everything is pricier now. This new joint is $8.99. So it's a little bit pricier, but it's 2023. Everything costs more money, man. It's still a virtual analog. They didn't like add anything crazy. They just made it better, in my opinion. The Gaia they added a few things that might make it like, okay, cool, that may be something I want to rock with, because the old Gaia was dope, but it always felt like it was like not as real, you know what I'm saying? Because of the virtual analog thing, those things don't age well, in my opinion. So the old Gaia I never really bought. I had one briefly, I had it for a while, and I ended up selling it, but that's when I was getting into the analog, ballsy, crazy sounds, knock your face off stuff. So when I was first rocking with the Gaia, yeah, it was really just my cup of tea. But like since then, I've been into more. Like right now, I got an MS-2000 virtual analog. I keep a Micron on me. So yeah, now I'm more into the virtual analog and the ways to program them. So I'm digging it, man. It seems like they improved it. It's what? They got a 2-pole, a 3-pole, and a 4-pole filter on there. Low and band pass. So that's dope. There's some things you could do with that. What else? The only thing, they didn't make the keys velocity sensitive. They not velocity sensitive again. I guess that would have cost more money, but like it's $8.99. They could have made the keys velocity sensitive, man. It's $300 MIDI controllers with velocity sensitive keys. So they could have made it, especially with it being virtual analog. I like the little XY thing they got built in though, and I seen the video where you can record that, whatever you're doing on the XY, to be in the synth sound. So I think Roland, Korg took that to another level with these new wave states where people won't evolve in sounds, and now we can do that right on the keyboard. Before, like the wave state, it was maybe a couple other keyboards that you can actually do it on the keyboard. Now it's as easy as just hitting record. You're doing the motion, holding the key, doing the motion, and now whenever you open that patch, you save it, and whenever you open that patch up, you hit a chord, it's gonna automatically give you that motion that you created with the XY pad or whatever. I don't think they call it the XY pad, they call it something else, but it's an XY pad. It's dope, man. Like I say, it's definitely worth the $8.99 in my opinion, because everything is higher. That's $8.99 is like the equivalent of the $5.99 when the Gaia 1, and that Gaia was worth that $5.99. So it just didn't have a place in my setup, because I got some big boy toys. I got Voyager, Prophet, and things of that nature. So it just didn't. It'd be one of the synths standing on the wall if I bought the original Gaia. This new joint might get some play, but I'm so used to the Hydra synth. I think it plays in that same lane as like the Hydra synth, because it's got that super digital, super like analogy digital early 2000s sound, in my opinion, from what I've heard from it and just knowing from the Gaias. And I kind of cover that with my Hydra synth, so I won't be buying one. But if you don't have something like a Hydra synth, it's a little bit cheaper for the actual full size synth keys, because the Hydra synth Explorer is a little bit cheaper than that. But if you're looking for the full size keys, if you actually know how to play, because I could rock an Explorer. I don't know how to play nothing. I'm programming everything. So that's why I don't even know why I'm complaining about velocity sensitive keys. You don't know how to play nothing. So yeah, let me rewind that. Forget that whole little section about the velocity sensitive keys. I'm not sitting up here playing for 3 minutes trying to get extra depth and feel by the keys being velocity sensitive. So that doesn't matter to me, to be honest. It doesn't matter in my usage of it. It's just a feature that I'm used to just being on synths that cost more than $600-700. That's all. But yeah, Hydra synth kind of nails that lane for me. I don't need it, but it's a dope synth, man. Like I say, from what I've heard, I want to hear one in person and play around with it. It may change my mind, cause like $8.99 for a synth now is pretty cheap, man. That's like in the Argon 8 lane, and the Argon 8 is dope, but the Argon 8's got too much weird like the menu dive and stuff that I hated. So hopefully this Roland don't have a lot of. It's a Roland though. They don't do a lot of that. So hopefully everything is like there for you to just to play around with it and just keep moving around on the synth, because that's what blew me about the Argon 8. Like honestly, if the Argon 8 had worked out, I might have never got a Hydra synth, but I'm glad I got the Hydra synth, because the Hydra synth is probably like pound for pound the best thing in my setup, man. They came out, I wouldn't say around the same time, they got popular around the same time, and I ended up springing for the Argon 8, and I ended up selling it, man. And then a couple years later, I ended up buying another Argon 8, and it was like, nah, it's still, it sounds good. It was never the problem if it sounded good. It's the way it felt when I was using it. In a Hydra synth, you know, everything, it's only 3 knobs on there, but like all those buttons, beep, I want to go straight to the, it ain't 3 knobs, but you know what I'm saying, I want to go straight to the envelope. Boop, there it go. Let me play around with it. Even though the Argon 8 had it there, it was weird stuff like with the patches need to be gained up, and like, bro, this is wow, this is weird. Like, this is weird. So I hope I'm pretty sure the Roland joint won't be like that, because it's Roland. They're not gonna like have all those weird little quirky things on it to make you not want to play it. My Argon 8 was sitting there for 8 months, and I probably used it 3 times because of just being aggravated about like loving the sound of it. Cause like I said, cause I love my analog synths, but I like that digitally sounding stuff too. That's why I keep a Korg on me. That's why I keep a Korg mini log or wave state or something like that on me, because I like that digitally, analogy digital sound. I know that sounds crazy, but if you got one, you understand what I mean. And I believe this is the lane that Roland can be in, that Gaia, because that's what the old Gaia was in my opinion. So yeah, I give it a thumbs up, man. When I get a chance to get my hands on one, I'm definitely gonna try it out. Hopefully I don't like it enough to buy it, because I got enough synths, man. I don't need any more. My next topic, speaking of synths, I finally dived into the world of the MPC Key. I've been rocking that joint probably about the last month or so. Yeah, I bought it about a month ago. Man, that thing totally changes the way I produce on the MPC. It makes me feel like it's an MPC, like if you old enough, or if like you could just have old gear, like you could be still using a Triton or a motif now to make beats. It got nothing to do with your age. But it made me feel like using like a Triton to make beats like we used to back in the day. The MPC Key comes with super dope sounds. They come loaded up when you hit the little preset thing, which is nice. It's the first time I ever felt that, because I bought my Live like, I don't know, 8 months after it came out. So all the new features, like, it's nice and it's fine that they put them on there, but they never work 100% in my opinion. Like the way they intend them to work, because they going back to like a machine from years ago, they never work. So like those synths, they never work right for me, man. Like if I'm using standalone on a computer, yeah, but I don't ever do that because it's pointless. I could just use the computer if I wanted to like have my MPC in the computer. So I got a whole room full of keyboards, so I use my MPC Key, man. And yeah, that MPC Key was worth every penny, even though I got a ridiculous deal on it. If it was this original price of $18.99, it would definitely be still worth every penny. I'm mad at myself for like, it's been like almost 2 years since that thing came out, man. And, I just was looking at it like, oh, this is just another MPC. I got a Live, man. I do everything with my Live. But it's a different feel. It was a feel that I was missing and didn't realize I was missing it. Because the MPC Key, you got everything right there. You got the keys right there. I realized like how much I don't play anymore. I'm like, bro, like I should be playing way better than this. I was just sitting there playing beats. I've been playing out on MIDI controllers and like modules for 20 years ago. So I should be nicer than this on the keys. This is crazy. These last 7 to 8 years, I'm used to not playing. I'm used to just using the MPC chord modes and stuff to get my stuff going, then play a little lead line, bass line, then I'm done. But like on the MPC Key, it's making me sit there and dig through the sounds. Only thing I did notice that these synths on the MPC, the real nice sounding ones, you really can't program them too much on the MPC itself. It seems like they're mostly like preset synths because you can't program them. So that's the only thing that sucks for somebody who like, for a mechanic that know how to get in there with the wrench and all that. Yeah, you really can't do that on like these Fabric XLs and all that. But it's all good. I guess they're all sample based and it's just hidden in the wrapper. Whereas like a program, you can, like a regular program, you can see, or like a synth program, you can dig in there and play around with stuff. So but you always got plugins to put on top and change sounds if you want to. So, but the MPC Key, man, like I say, I called it for a ridiculous deal and it was worth every penny because I'm just feeling the way we used to make beats on like hardware synth stations, like from, like let's say the Triton from Korg, the Motif from Yamaha, the Phantom from Roland. It gave me that feel again, and that was dope, man. It was a feel that like I wasn't thinking about and didn't think I missed, but I did. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like one of them things where you're like, man, I don't need that. But then you like, wow, I wish I would have been having that all this time, because that feels, I wouldn't say better, it just feels different. Because I felt the difference when I went back to my live. I went back to the live and I'm like, wait, the key's not right, the Wonder is ready to go. And now I'm thinking about other stuff that I wouldn't be thinking about. Yeah, I got my I keep my Prophet and my Voyager on my left. I got my Grandmother and my Hydra on the right. Yeah, they right there within arm's reach, but it feels a little bit different because now I'm programming sounds instead of just going through, playing them, getting through with the sequence and going back and just making the sounds beefy or whatever. That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do like when I was on a computer making beats. But now I kind of get into like the sound design and a little bit more, and they may hinder my creativity, whereas with the key, you're just going, you know what I mean? And I like the fact that I got it hooked up to my Mio XL and it's controlling everything in the room. Well, I got two Mio XLs and it's basically controlling all my analog stuff, and I got an output from the mixer ran to it. So when I'm using my pre-MIDI stuff, I can just go to it, record the little part in, boom, and it keeps going. So yeah, man. The MPC Key, along with how I just redid my studio, is nice, man. I got output to go into the live and the MPC Key. Well, technically it's going to like this is a cheat code. If you like a person who got a lot of samplers like I do, you don't want to be patching cables into all these samplers. Get a 8 headphone box, man. Like just I know PreSonus used to make one, Behringer makes one. I forgot the name of the company that Guitar Center owns. That's the one I got. So basically it's got two inputs, A and B. I got all my MPCs going to the, let's say I got this mixer, this Allen and Heath or this Behringer or whatever. I got all my synths patched into it, but I got my MPC Key and my MPC going to the stereo returns, because I don't want the chain of the synth going to the MPCs itself, because it's gonna be feedback. The MPC gonna go back to itself. So I got all that stuff going. So now I got my stereo returns can go out of the synths and everything to the headphone box. And the point of the headphone box is now I got 8 different outputs. So at the crib right now, actively hooked up, I got my S1200. That's the Isla instrument joint. I got my Roland S500 back from the 80s. I got my MPC 60 at the crib, my MPC Live at the crib, MPC Key at the crib, actively hooked up. The EMU ESI 32 hooked up. What else? The ASI X hooked up. That's it. And my 4000 and the Isla, they go back and forth. I'm not really using my 3000 right now, but it'll take the place of something else of the ASI X if I'm using it. So I got 8 outputs that I can send sound from like a synth or something like that, or just like, yeah, from like one of the synths to it. That's input A. And then B, I actually got connected to like just a phone or just anything, just like it's just an aux output. So I could have that connected to a turntable, I can have it connected to a phone, I can have it connected to whatever, and then it's just coming out. So that way it helps me sample without patching cables, because I'm a technical person. So I go straight from wanting to make beats to like rearranging all the cables in like for 2 hours, and now the beats ain't being made no more. So I had to give myself a way to work, and the MPC Key comes perfectly at this time, because I got all my synths perfectly laid out with my Emio XL. Boom, MPC Key. The only thing I don't like is only one MIDI output. That's like blasphemy. MPC is supposed to have at least 2. The big boys all got 4. So the one MIDI output kind of blows me, but it's all good because everything can be hooked up like USB, you know what I'm saying? So some of my synths, like let's say a Pro 3, I got the USB going to a little hub to the MPC Key, but the actual MIDI just going to the Mio XL. So I'm doing a lot of stuff like that. If it's a newer school synth that you actually got the USB and the regular 5-pin DIN on it, I'm sending the 5-pin DIN to the Mio XL, and then the USB to that little hub on the MPC Key. That way I can like have intimate control of this synth that's sitting right in front of me without having to route it to the whole system. So yeah, I like having options when I'm working, basically. And the MPC Key plays right into that, man. Like, it doesn't replace, like if you used to just like using straight MPC sample-based stuff, it didn't give me that feel. Like if you only got one MPC, you only got one option, I would say buy the MPC Key. If you're not rocking with the older ones and all that, or if you don't want the big boy X, that key, man, is a cheat code, because it's the same thing, but it's just in a different layout. And I'm glad I never really copped the X, because it didn't feel stupid to me to grab a key, because I already got my Live, and I've been using my Live for like, it's been 6 years now, almost everyday usage. So I didn't need an X or like a Live 2. I rock with the MPC Key, and I'm about to cop a ARP 2600 soon. So yeah, the CV outputs on that is gonna come to use. Like right in front of me, I got my Sub 37, and right now I'm not feeling the sound of my Sub 37. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm just not feeling the sound right now. Every time I'm looking for a beat, searching for it, the bass just don't be like the type of bass I'm looking for. So I'm gonna probably move that out of the setup right now and put my ARP 2600 right in front of me so I can patch and do stuff, and the CV outputs on it is perfect. So yeah, MPC Key is definitely worth every penny I paid for it. I wish I would have copped it earlier. And yeah, man, definitely if you got a chance, I wouldn't buy one full price, because Akai, don't buy nothing full price from Akai, because they gonna break your heart. Like, people bought that thing for $18.99. I bought mine for like less than a G. Like not even like an insider discount or nothing, just like copying it from somebody on Reverb, like a store, like on sale, you know what I'm saying? So nah, don't buy it new if you can. I mean, don't buy it like straight retail. They'll break your heart. Akai will break your heart, man. So yeah, the MPC Key though, if you can cop one for a good price, you got good use for it, or if you don't got an MPC, you might have been a keyboard dude, yeah, this is the perfect one for you to be rocking with, man. Yep. Last topic, man, it's more like a rant. I'm sitting up here crying. I'm going to the Wu-Tang concert, man, Wu-Tang Nas, right? And last year, I'm mad because last year, I went to the Wu-Tang Nas concert. The missus, she got me tickets for it. I ended up going with my brother. So this time around, my bro was like, man, I'll pay for it. We going back, bro. I'm like, going back? He had told me about it. I didn't even know about it. I'm like, what do you mean we going back? They still on tour? He's like, yeah, man, they coming back. United Center, bro. Because the last one was at a stadium in the burb, somewhere Tinley Park. Man, I forgot the name of it. The big one in Tinley Park. So I'm like, wait. I bought like $130 worth of like merchandise, man. I bought a t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, everything. I'm like, this once in a lifetime with my guy Wu-Tang Clan and Nas are going on tour. They've been working with each other from the beginning, and they finally going on tour together. They might have been on a tour together. I don't know the history, but this, I'm like, they headlining the tour for one. These was like, they just did it last year to prove it, to come do the real tour this year. I was so upset, man. I'm like, cause I ain't realized, like, man, none of the merchant guys got the year on it, bro. They got me bad that it didn't say like 2022 or something like that on none of the stuff. So I'm like, wait. Is this like, this dude saw me with the shirt, cause I got the Wu-Tang shirt, they got Chicago in the middle, but it don't got the year now. He like, man, that's dope, man. I'm like, yeah, and it made me realize it in that moment. I'm like, man, it ain't got no like historical insignia or nothing on here, bro. Like, and they gave me a hat. I bought a hat for like $50. I'm like, yeah, now I'm think about it, the hat was $50. So I paid more than $130, man, because the hat was $50. The t-shirt had to be at least $30, maybe $40. And the damn sweatshirt was like $70. So yeah, what's that? That's $150, man. So I paid $150 on merchandise, and they coming back the next year. So I guess I'm gonna begrudgingly rock the gear to the concert now. But they bogus. They like, basically, like I said, they went and proved it last year. Whoever, Live Nation, whatever other company probably didn't want to, man, y'all can't book no stadiums, man. So they went and took the small and medium-sized stadiums for, like, they went all over the country. It's Nas and Wu-Tang. You know, people 35 and up going to see Nas and Wu-Tang, fam. Because for one, Wu-Tang Clan is a collective, is a full thing. They ain't done a lot of shows together. So even though it's no such thing as a full thing because ODB gone, but Capadonna was there, like, it's the Wu-Tang Clan. Method Man wasn't there. But I will say something was special about the show I went to. Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star was there. Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star not coming back. De La Soul minus Dave, rest in peace, is coming. You know what I'm saying? So I love De La, but man, Busta Rhymes in concert is a little bit different. I think we got to like treat last year when we went, because Busta Rhymes came. I guess, I don't know, it seemed like people was complaining about Method Man not being there, so they like, okay, well, we'll get Busta. How about that? So yeah, man, like, yeah, Busta, even though Method Man and Busta, like, they don't replace each other, but Method Man is Method Man, especially live show Method Man. That's a different animal. Method Man dope on records, but live show Method Man is way better. So hopefully live Method Man is here this time. I'm gonna be happy. And hopefully they change up the way they did it. Cause like, they did it like it was almost like a glorified open mic, man. Like they would just spit. Like Nas came out and did a couple songs, Wu did a couple, Busta did a couple, then Nas did a couple, then Wu did a couple. Like, it was weird, man. So I hope they do like a full set Wu-Tang, full set Nas, full set De La Soul, fam. Like, I hope they do that. I hope they don't think that was a good idea last year, because I didn't like it. Other people might have liked it, like we was all high and drunk and all that, so it really didn't, you know what I'm saying? So we all enjoyed it some type of way, but I would have rather like Nas just go through a full like hour and a half set, and then Wu-Tang come up and do an hour and a half set. De La Soul do an hour and a half set. It was like 20 minutes, then he come up 20 minutes, then they come up 20 minutes. So I didn't like that, man. That was weird. But yeah, I think it's going, I'm definitely loving it. I'm kind of mad that I didn't hit that LL Cool J up a couple weeks ago, because let me be truthful. I thought the Roots was gonna be like doing a groovy Roots thing. I'm like, bro, I want to hit original records. I love the Roots, but I want to hit original records. But I seen videos, I'm like, well, I didn't know Black Thought was gonna be emceeing the whole show with LL Cool J. Or with whoever comes on stage. Black Thought was emceeing for him. I'm like, oh man, I jagged, man. So I ain't about to let that happen again. I'm going to, from this point on, any like dope historical acts come to Chicago, I'm going, dog. Cause like, we so cynical, and we so like, we so like, the internet makes it so that we feel that we just see these people all the time and all that, but bro, I just missed the show with LL Cool J, Rakim, and Slick Rick on it. With Common and Bone, like in the Roots, Black Thought, like helping out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was an L. I'll hold that one. I'm gonna hold that one. So yeah, this Wu-Tang Nas show, and what's dope, like I said, it's stadium, man. I had never been to a show at United Center. I never been to the big shows. You know what I'm saying? I seen Wu-Tang Clan Wu-Tang Clan in Atlanta before. That one was phenomenal. That was like one of their first times everybody back together. This was like what, 2018 or 19 or something? Yeah, that show was phenomenal. So I've seen Wu-Tang for 3 hours before, for 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? So I know what they like. But now they got all the lights and the LED walls and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice. So I can't wait. Definitely gonna give a report back on that. But yeah, like I say, because I saw the show last year, I know it's gonna be nice. And it's so crazy because like I really noticed it, man. Like everybody was dipped head to toe. I'm like, man, these dudes. Like, I'm on the phone shopping as I'm at the show, man. I think I bought 3 pieces of clothing when I was there. Like, man, those shoes was hard. I ain't had a pair of ones in a while, feel. Like, so it was dope, man. Like seeing those dudes. Basically, I grew up looking up to, man. Like Nas and Wu-Tang Clan, bro. Like they kind of shaped the way. Didn't really understand like all the knowledge and all that. I was digesting listening to them dudes, but when I got older, like wondering where some of that stuff stemmed from, like them, literally, especially that show last year, all that knowledge, man, that Wu-Tang Nas and Busta had on their rhymes and their songs and stuff, that's where I got a lot of my like thinking from. So yeah, it's dope being able to see these dudes still out here, still prospering. Like I say, minus ODB, man, rest in peace to him. But his son was there doing his parts, man. So that's what's dope. Whenever they do the big shows, they have his son doing his parts. He look like him. He don't exactly sound like him. Nobody sound like ODB, but like it's dope. Feeling like, okay, ODB is here, you know what I'm saying? So it's nice, man. It was super dope. I saw them in Atlanta. I saw them last year. So I'm going to see them again this year. And I'm going to try to pay attention whenever they come to the shop, man. Because I know Ghost and Ray going to come back together. So whenever Ghost and Ray come back, I'm going to go. See, the problem was back in the day, the Wu-Tang show was the show you get stabbed up at, man. Like, I ain't want to go to them shows when they was at the Congress Theater and all that back in the day, man. Them the shows, or like the Ghost show, or Ray going, them the shows you gonna go to and get stabbed and get in fights with people and all that, man. I wasn't on that. I could just listen to the record. Now the crowd and the demographic changed a little bit because we all older now and we just like happy that these dudes still around coming to perform. So like the crowds is different. And because they went through the period of being super famous because they Wu-Tang Clan, and now famous enough to do stadium tours again, because we all older now, we still around, and we'll pay our little $70, $80 to go see them, $100 to go see Wu-Tang and Nas. So now they doing stadium tours again, which is dope. Like I say, man, like, I love it. That's why it was dope that LL is out right now. He proving that some of these older artists can do stadium tours, and Wu-Tang, they proving it too. So we're gonna get more of these stadium tours for our legacy acts. It ain't just gonna be like Summerfest no more. So that's what's dope. That's what's important about this Wu-Tang thing. They go and they selling out all these shows across America. Then now you're gonna start getting more acts doing it. You know what I'm saying? So even though these the biggest of the big, LL Cool J and Wu-Tang Clan and Nas, like that's the biggest of the big from the eras. But it's a lot of dope other people that could go out too that would be dope. 50 Cent doing it right now too. I forgot about him. So yeah, he's doing it too. So I think we're going to get more of these shows. 50 Cent saying this is his last one. Yeah, okay. When he make $40 million this year from this tour, probably more than that. We're going to see if it's his last one. Because he's selling out everywhere. I ain't gonna catch his show in Chicago, but he's selling out everywhere. So it's dope with these legacy acts, man. He's technically not legacy as those dudes, but he's still legacy. Going on these stadium tours. Because there's a lot of these new artists can't even sell out these shows, man, which is crazy. It makes sense, though, man. Like, at the end of the day, I ain't knocking streaming or all that, but, like, man, if I came out with an album, I sold 4 million records, that's 4 million people had to go buy that. That's way different than people just got the access to listening to it on their phone. I ain't saying, like, we was better fans or, like, more fans, but I don't think some of these dudes gonna be able to go on tour in like 20 years to stadiums, because just the way we digest music. It's not just the shorties. I can't just blame them or the younger generation. It's how we all digest music, man. Like, we don't have a relationship with it as much as it used to be. Like, you had to physically leave the crib, like, only, especially me growing up as a teenager in the 90s or something. Man, I got $25, man. I want to buy the Source and I could buy one magazine. You don't got to make those decisions now. Like, I remember, like, I'll never forget this. Aquemini and Hard Knock Life came out on the same day. I'm like, man, I want both. I was listening. They you know, they give you previews. I think I was in Sam Goody or something. And then I go to the Source. Aquemini got 5 mics. The Hard Knock Life had like 4.5. I'm like, okay, that might have pushed it past. I'm gonna grab this Aquemini. The Source bogus, man. That Aquemini album was, I ain't gonna disrespect Jay and say it's 1,000 times better, but come on, bro. Them albums do not compare, fam. Like, and you telling me that one was just like a little bit better? Stop it, man. That Aquemini was way better than Life After, than Hard Knock Life. So they was bogus, man. Like they was kind of bogus with some of their ratings, man. Like, yeah, Aquemini was way better than Hard Knock Life, but that's what I'm saying about the way we used to look at things. Like, man, I had enough money to buy one album. I think I was like 15 when these albums came out. I had enough money to buy one album in the Source. That's it. I had to pick Aquemini, and it was the best choice because Aquemini was phenomenal. So, yeah, man, it's just we view and look at music a little bit different. So I don't believe some of these acts gonna be able to go on stadium tours in 20 years because their core fan base was used to just digesting them on their phone. Whether it could be me. One of my favorite artists of all time is K-Dot, but I never had to go buy a K-Dot album or a CD. I've always been able to just, I feel like listening to it, let me type it in, there it go. So am I gonna really like wanna go get a CD? I remember hustling grocery bags to buy Illmatic. I remember that. I remember hustling grocery bags to buy the first Wu-Tang album and Illmatic up at the Aldi on Chicago Avenue in Kidsey on the west side of Chicago. I remember that. That's what these shorties or just our generation now, we don't understand, or they'll never understand. I went to hustle shopping bags, going to take bags, like you see an older lady coming out of the store, I take your bag to the car for you, she give you 50 cents a dollar. I hustled that to get the Wu-Tang album, to get the Nas album. So it's that relationship with those albums that I'm always gonna have. Like To Pimp a Butterfly or Good Kid, Mad City, I just had to pull it up on the phone, man. I ain't got no relationship with it. Even if I had to go to the store to buy it, it still was something that might have happened that day that might have made me remember and make me feel a little bit deeper about the album. Like, I didn't have to do nothing. I just had to like pull it up on the phone when it came out. So yeah, it feels a little bit different. So I don't think a lot of these artists, even though they big, I don't think they're gonna be able to go on stadium tours until like 20 years after their best work was put out, because we just don't have that same relationship with their music. And yeah, man. And I don't mean just me. I mean like whoever's gonna be in their late 30s, early 40s. Like when Good Kid, Mad City could have came out when they was 13, 14 years old. And whoever gonna be in their mid 30s, 40s when it's 20 years past it, I don't think they're gonna go on a tour like a stadium tour for them. Like it may be like some Coachella type of thing where it's a lot of people performing, but like just 2 acts going on tour 20 years after their best work. Nah, I don't think that's gonna work for like these newer artists, because we don't value their music the same way we valued the music from the 90s and the early 2000s or whatever. So yeah, let me get off my little rant, get off my little soapbox. But that Wu-Tang and Nas show, I can't wait, man. My bro, he hooked it up. We going. And like, man, I'm about to see Wu-Tang twice and I ain't pay a penny. The missus bought the last one and my brother buying this one, so I'm happy. Like Wu-Tang and Nas, like anybody that know me know I think Nas the best. Like you may have your favorite. When people be talking about Mount Rushmores and who's the greatest, everybody's got their favorite. I like macaroni and cheese. You may like this. But the best is Nas, though. Like, take him off of your Mount Rushmores. He's proving it now. He's dropping trilogies of dope albums now, 20 years after he came out. 20, 30 years after he came out. So yeah, I think he's proven the last 5 to 10 years that he's the best, hands down. Nobody compares to him. So it's dope to see him on tour right now. And he's back, like he's literally back in his prime making dope music again. So that was the only thing that was weird. He didn't perform none of the new stuff at all. I guess he was like, man, these old motherfuckers don't want to hear these. They want to hear Illmatic. They want to hear It Was Written. They want to hear I Am. They want to hear the older songs. So he didn't perform anything new. At least I didn't catch it. My bro was late, so I had to go catch him at the gate. I didn't send him the ticket and all that. So Nas was performing. So I might not have caught a song, but I don't remember him performing anything new. So I guess like on these tours, he probably only performed his like older stuff, his legacy stuff. So yeah, man, this tour is dope, man. I'm happy, we're fortunate that we're in this situation where like, cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like older acts, a lot of times they be relegated to like the little small venues and all that. Now they come to United Center. They going to the Barclays when they go to New York. They going to, you know what I'm saying, the Fiserv when they go to Milwaukee. They going to the big stadiums, which is dope, man. I like it. I like it. I love it. So yeah, those are my 3 topics, man. So this week, yeah, check out that Gaia. Check out that MPC Key, man. And like, yeah, check out them videos of that Wu-Tang. Or if you in the Chicago area, come to it. We're going to be in there. Signing off, man. Hit me with that like, that subscribe. Peace.